area, you know, she could have, because she arrived early, so she had a choice of seat. This auditorium normally seats about 2,000 people, so you know she could have sat anywhere, and she went to the disabled area, and I'm thinking, well, there's got to be something wrong with her to not wrong in a bad way, but you know she could have a disability. That's what I meant.
Yeah. You
And then,
can't always see it.
yeah, you
That's the
can't
thing.
always see a disability, can you?
No,
Yeah. So
no.
anyway, I thought, right, okay, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. And I looked at her, and I saw this is strange, Trevor. And I saw that she was missing a hand. One of her hands, she was missing a hand up to this length.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
well, just above, just just past the elbow, was all she had. So there was no hand, a physical hand.
No.
And I thought to myself, oh, that's why, you know. And then I stopped looking because I thought, you know, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable, you know.
No. No.
So anyway, she sat there, and even when she had her handbag on the hand that was disabled, and I could see that she struggled to put the handbag down.
Mm.
And she walked and then she walked straight up to me and said to me, she said, are these doors going to be left open throughout the whole program? And I said, it's quite likely that they would be left open because of ventilation. And I said, why have you asked? She said, I'm feeling a bit cold, you know. Well, the heating hadn't kicked on by then, you know. So I said to her, I said, well, I said, I've got a spare coat in the car. I'll go and fetch it for you as soon as I can get someone to relieve me. And she went, oh, thank you very much. So she went to the toilet. I presume she went to the toilet. Yeah, because she did go to the toilet because she said to me, which way is the toilet? And I said, just follow the signs. Anyway, and then she came back and she sat down, Trevor. She sat down and she had this. I don't know if she got it from the ladies or she had it in her handbag, but all of a sudden she was sanitizing her hands, both hands. And I'm stood there thinking, hang on a minute, what am I seeing? And
Yeah.
she was proper doing it as if to say, listen, you're totally wrong. You I'm
Well,
stood
two
there
hands.
and I'm thinking, am I going crazy?
Yeah.
Am I losing my mind? I saw what I know what I saw, and I saw what I saw. And now, and she was proper just going rubbing all up to the elbow, and you know, I'm stood there.
Can I just say there,
Yeah, go on, sorry.
this is no disrespect to the lady, but I can't resist saying perhaps you've been to the second-hand shop. I'm not being disrespectful. So I take that back. No, but I'm intrigued where this is going, this story. So do carry on.
I stood there. I stood there the whole day. So anyway, eventually, about an hour later, the program still hadn't started because I got there by 7:30. So I got a friend to relieve me. I said to him, I said, could you mind my post while I go to get something from the car? So I went and got a coat from the car and I gave it to her and I said, you could just put it on your shoulder or you could just put your hands in the coat and, you know, and she thanked me for it. And the whole day it kept playing on my mind. And I'm thinking, I know what I saw. You know, I dare not tell anybody about this because they think I'm going crazy, you know. But there you go. I've just said it to probably the whole world. But
Yeah, the question is, did you get your coat back?
but I did get the coat back at the end of the program. She came up to me and she said, no, during the break, she came to me and she said, where you sat? So I showed her where I was sat. She said, all right, I'll bring it back when the program's finished. I'm all right. Yeah. And she did. And I was just looking at her and I'm thinking, and I dare not ask her, you know, because she might think I'm losing my mind, you know. Um, but her not sanitizing her hands and the ladies and then coming back to her seat just to do that, it just added to the whole confusion for me in my head, you know.
Almost like she was trying to confuse you even more. I mean, did you
Oh,
ever have you come up with any sort of explanation?
no, no. And
What made you think she was missing a hand? What did you see
because
or not see that?
I saw that the hand was not there, Trevor. I'm telling
What was it? A sleeve? Was she in a sleeve? Because
you.
maybe her hand was in the sleeve.
This is the
No?
thing. She was wearing a dress, right?
Right.
She was wearing a dress, and it was the sleeve came up to just before the shoulder, and that's where the sleeve came up to. And I just can't explain it. I cannot
I
explain.
mean, it's possible. The only explanation, it seems to me, is she must have had an artificial hand and a bit of a wrist, which somehow she clips on. I mean, that's what people do, isn't it?
Oh
It's got
yeah.
to be something like that, I guess.
All right. Well, how?
It's either that or you've lost your marbles.
I have.
It's the most likely one.
I think that I think the latter one is more logical. I think I must have lost. Yeah, I can't.
So you didn't want to tell anybody in case they thought you were going mad,
Yeah,
and now you've told
I
probably quite
thought
a few people listening
I
to
probably
this.
told the whole world, you know.
Well, at least two of us anyway.
For now, until it goes
Absolutely.
out.
But it is weird, isn't it? And weird things happen. So, I mean, it's not quite the same, but
Yeah,
um, weird things do happen.
it does.
And my sister, you may remember, she died last year. She had lung cancer,
Yeah,
and we had her funeral. And there was a wake afterwards in quite a big hotel down in Sittingbourne in Kent. Very nice old type hotel, very nice, very big, lots of different rooms. And there were quite a lot of people there. And myself, my two brothers, and people with us, partners and things, and I believe Kimberly and Lucy were in that room as well. And the waiters and waitresses were bringing round food, and there was food and another, all the rest of it. But we were sort of talking together for quite a long time, and for quite a lot of for all the time we were in that room, which I guess must have been 45 minutes to an hour. There was this beautiful little moth. Now, I always think of a moth as a tiny little flying thing that sometimes is attracted to the lights, the light bulb or something like that, and they come in at night and things like that. Harmless little creatures. But this moth was like a beautiful little butterfly. Now, I don't think it was a butterfly, but equally, I'd never seen a beautiful moth with incredible designs on its little wings. Now, you may think, well, how would you have noticed all that? I'll tell you why, because it kept settling on each of us. We were talking away a lot of it about Sue, my sister, um, and ordinarily, people can brush something away like that if it's on their arm or whatever, on their hand, if they've got two hands. No, I shouldn't say that, but there we are. So this beautiful little moth, it stayed in that room, and then it would fly up and it would come down on someone else, almost like it was. Sounds ridiculous, but like it was listening to what we were saying. And at the time, the people made the comment, quite a few people did, is this connected with Sue? I mean, it sounds daft to say maybe that was Sue, but I've read things since then about butterflies doing very similar things. But it was so uncanny that ordinarily a moth would just might settle and then fly away and all that. This
yeah,
this was different. And as I say, none of us there had seen such a beautiful little creature. I mean, even if somebody was normally going to knock them away, you wouldn't, because it was just so beautiful. And that struck all of us as actually a bit weird, but in a good way. You think, well, maybe Sue was around, and somehow, who knows, the laws of physics, the laws of spiritualism, all that. Maybe as she had passed, she was able to. I don't know. Maybe it's about reassuring people left behind, that they're still there, that they're okay. I don't know. It's difficult to put an explanation. And the cynic would simply say, no, it's just a little animal that was there, little moth, nothing to do with anything else. But it seemed at the time extremely uncanny and beautifully uncanny. It was like it wouldn't go